Hey guys, welcome to the third episode of Design Quarantine. God, I'm having so much fun doing this. I hope you guys are excited. Today we're going to kind of switch it up. We're actually going to invite Snyder Diamond, one of the best, if not the best places to go find any plumbing and bath fixtures you need. If you've not gone to Snyder Diamond, guys, check them out. They're incredible. But today we are collaborating with Snyder Diamond. We're actually going to have one of their contributing editors, Kelly Badal. She is a doll. I mean, she's such an amazing woman. Super smart, guys. She was the editor-in-chief of Interiors California magazine before all this, and we're going to help her with a design dilemma during this quarantine time. And then she's going to flip the switch. She's going to come interview me. She's going to ask me a bunch of questions about design, designing during quarantine. Honestly, who knows what she's going to ask, but I'm here to answer the questions. So let me go ahead and get them online with us, and we'll have some fun. And I hope you guys brought your cocktails. I'm drinking Boochcraft, which 7% alcohol, people. That's what we need during these times. Hi, Patsy. Love ya. All right, so there you are.
Yay!
You look so nice.
Thanks. I did put on lip gloss for this. I did.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I actually put cologne on for this. I was like, what am I doing? But it made me feel good, right? So
I'm so impressed by that.
I don't know. We have nothing else to do during these times, or nothing else to get dressed up for. So I thought, I want to dress up for you. I want to enjoy this moment that we're going to have. So I'm excited.
I mean, someone told me the other day that we have to show up for ourselves, and I'm here for that advice.
I was going to say, I would agree with that. I mean, I did lie in bed until 3 o'clock this afternoon, working, on emails and doing design and stuff. But
yeah,
it's bizarre just kind of lying in bed all day. All right. We all know what we're doing in this time of quarantine in regards to that.
Yes.
So let's talk design. I've already let some of the viewers who were watching earlier know that we're going to start by doing our normal design quarantine, where I'm going to help you out with the design dilemma that you're having during this time of quarantine. And then you're going to flip the switch. You're going to turn on me. You're going to ask me anything you want. It could be about design. It could not. I'm an open book. All right. So I'm here to answer all those questions. So let's go for it. I mean, do you have a design dilemma? If so, what is it?
Yes.
And let me try to help you out.
Well, Ryan, thank you so much for having me on here, and on behalf of Snyder Diamond as well. Like, it's so awesome to be here with you, and we love that you're doing this design in quarantine program in general, and just, as a cool way to both keep yourself active and give back too. Like, that's inspiring.
Thank you.
So, I mean, saying that, I'm excited to pick your brain about other stuff too. But yeah. Yes, I have a design dilemma. It's some shelves that I recently added to the mid-century modern house that I bought last year. And I love the shelves.
Okay.
But I totally want some styling advice. So I'm going to flip it to the shelves. Okay, voila. Built-in shelves.
Got it. Oh, yeah. Okay. That's a nice built-in.
So we did built-ins because the ceilings are high. They're like 14 feet ceilings or higher in some places. And I'm happy with them. But the idea was, of course, to make sure that this big black box wasn't the only thing here.
Yeah.
And it's still, it's big. It's
Okay.
I tease my husband that it's too big, but it, to his credit, it does get a lot of use in our house.
Sure.
But anyway, I had this vision of doing plants at the top. We also added these skylights.
I was just gonna say, I love the lighting. I love the light that you have from the skylights. And the built-in is nice and clean. I like that you did the symmetry of the shelves, all kind of the same level. I think it looks really great. It's just about styling it correctly,
Right, exactly. Because we kind of have, I mean, as you can see at these top ones on the right-hand side, we have vents right there. So I don't want to put something that
is obstructing the vent. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've talked about putting like artwork up there in these bigger spaces. Like, for example, this one was just left in the house, and I kind of love it, this funky little oil painting.
Yeah.
But it looks a little small for that space still. And again, like, I absolutely loved like playing around with books and like putting them in different ways and putting some fun objects up there.
Sure.
And I was happy to just spread out the books, that there aren't just like, straight books, but like some interesting stuff. You can also see like there's some kid stuff down here too. Have a toddler.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was just curious, like what you do for your clients, Ryan, like how you, what sort of big things should be up there? Because I
Yeah,
wanted to.
I'd say, I mean, from first glance, the biggest things that are sticking out to me are, well, first and foremost, when people do built-ins, it does not mean that it's now a storage unit, right?
Right.
I mean, it's not really supposed to be meant to be this like catch-all, let's throw everything we have, all the knickknacks. Like, that's not what really allows them to shine the brightest. So less is more when it comes to
Mm-hmm.
shelving, in my opinion. I also think the power of threes and fives is always very important in
I like
design.
that.
So when I say that, it's really more like stacking books. Like there should just be 3 levels, right? Or
Uh-huh.
5 levels. The eye likes odd numbers. Even numbers start to, I think, make us feel like you're trying a bit too hard.
Yeah.
And I would also say a lot of your books are vertical.
Uh-huh.
I would try to take out a lot of those, reading books or those type of books and put them in another place in your house, like in the bedrooms or somewhere where you'll utilize them more, and
Yeah.
maybe try to stick more to like design and art and fashion books that are a bit more beautiful to look at, especially when they're lying horizontally. You can stack them. Again, the less is more concept really works well when you're dealing with books. And then on top of that, you can like add in some of the really cool oil paintings and
Mm-hmm.
accessories that you've collected throughout the years. But I'd say from first glance, it's just looking a bit cluttered, like
Yeah,
there's just a bit too
sure.
much going on. I think that the plant idea is wonderful. And I actually really like the plants being up top all the way. And
Yeah.
I
I
think,
want them to be kind of like, this is what's happening on the
oh,
other side in the kitchen. Like,
okay, yeah. I
this
was
is
just going
kind
to
of an
say,
idea that it's going to play off of.
yeah, larger is better, I think, for up there. And
Mm-hmm.
I know when you wrote in about the question, you said you kind of wanted this maybe amazing Beauty and the Beast kind of ladder that went across, which
Yes.
who doesn't want a Beauty and the Beast ladder, right? But
Right. That'd be great.
looking at the space, I think it might overwhelm it. And I don't know if it would necessarily tie in with the mid-century modern. So I'm going to suggest that we find you a really, really, really great vintage stool,
Yeah.
and we allow that to hang out in the area where the built-ins are. But then you could water the plants. Or I can't believe I'm saying this, but I did go to a place called Aldic Home a few weeks ago. They specialize in synthetic flowers and
Oh,
basically silk plants, but they're so real. They're so unbelievably realistic that in that area, why not? Like why not do something synthetic, or maybe it's succulents or something. I mean, you touch these plants and you're like, yeah, that's real, and then it's not.
wow.
So they've come a long way. Okay. I mean, I'm not saying that lightly. I love real plants, but it is a challenge. It's a challenge to water them every day. It's a challenge to get up there and do that. So I think by doing something like that, you'd be a lot happier by looking at
Yeah.
the beautiful green. And I do want to say one thing about underneath that TV kind of box.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think that that's another spot you could actually do a really nice horizontal, yeah, right under there. Like remove what's there, and then do like
Uh-huh.
a nice larger like succulent, and
That's a
just
good
make
idea.
that really be like a gorgeous moment. And then get those wires, like tie them
Yeah.
around
Wrap 'em
something,
up.
remove the wires, because then that makes the eye not think electronic, right? Like you just see a
Right.
big block box, you don't necessarily think TV, but the minute you see a bunch of wires, you start thinking electronics, it takes the eye away. So
Yeah.
those would be some of my bigger suggestions, and I hope they help.
Can I start teasing you immediately about recommending fake plants? But I
Yes,
actually
of
think that's
course.
a brilliant idea.
Of course, yes.
Yeah, I'm actually thrilled that you know of a source that that actually makes good ones, because
Yeah.
that's my biggest complaint, that they just look fake. They get dusty, they look fake.
Yeah.
But maybe with a space so high up, it makes sense, because I've literally held off on finishing this because I just didn't want to climb all the way up there
I promise you,
or
I'll
have plants
take you.
die.
When we're out of quarantine, I'll take you there. I posted
Yes,
a
please.
story about them a few weeks ago when I was there because I was just so like enamored by how real they all were. But there, you kind of have to sift and make sure you're finding the right things. But
Yeah.
again, the succulents are pretty amazing. They do have some really, really wildly realistic looking plants and trees, but obviously trees aren't going to go in those cubbies. But I think we could find you something pretty incredible down the road, and that just will clean it all up. You know, it'll make you,
Yeah.
it'll be a nice starting off point. Then you can start doing the books and start to kind of pare it back a bit. Because you just don't want it to look so overwhelming, especially when that's an
Right.
area you're watching TV all the time. Like, again,
Yeah.
less is more, power of 3 and 5, and you'll be good to go.
Well, I love that you say that, because I was looking at this as like, oh, more stuff around the great big TV takes away from the TV, but it doesn't really.
I don't think so.
It's more
I think
like there's a lot of shit on the wall.
It jumbles it around. Again, it starts to look like storage. Like, you guys obviously have a really beautiful home. I love the mid-century lines. Like, just mid-century simple, right? You know, like, it's very clean lines. So the minute you start, you know, kind of cheeking that up with a bunch of stuff, it starts to take away from those elements. And that's not what anyone ultimately wants in a mid-century home. So I'd say that's what to do. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Ryan.
Of course. Awesome. All right. Now is it my turn? Are you going to ask me? I'm going to have to take a drink for this one. I'm drinking. I already showed before, it's Bootcraft. It's 7%. So, you know, it's a nice strong beer. So.
Okay. Good.
I'm ready whenever you are.
Permission for hard-hitting questions.
Yeah.
Well, just to start off, I mean, what are we on, week 3 in California, right? I'm losing track myself.
End of week 3, I think. Yeah.
End of week 3, yeah. So I'm just curious, like, how are you coping at this point with being at home and running your business? And I'm so happy you're doing creative things like this, because this is awesome. It's like light in the darkness. It's like a whistle in the dark, that sort of thing. But
you know,
else are you doing
I'm doing fantastic. I feel like there's so many people who are going through unbelievable difficult times right now. And yes, we have had a slow in our business. Yes, it's been an adjustment to be at home constantly and be working from home and having employees checking in with you in a remote type of a way. But we're the lucky ones. You know, like, I still have some good clients. I still am able to do certain work things. I'm able to have the freedom and time to do something like Design Quarantine, which is exciting and different and fun. So I'm doing fine. I have nothing to complain about. I think this is the time that we all need to, like, look inward and reflect and take advantage of being able to sit in our pajamas all day long and not have to take meetings with a ton of people. So I'm kind of just leaning into it. And I think that's what's keeping my mental sanity at a decent level.
Well, and then as far as like working with clients or your team, I mean, are a lot of your projects on standstill, or have you kind of moved everything you can online? What are you doing? You
know, it's half and half. It depends. Like, if we were installing stuff, that kind of got put on standstill. Even though now we're finding ways to kind of work with showrooms. The showrooms have been incredibly generous of sending us photos, you know, being there, and team players to help us out where they can. And then a lot of stuff is still kind of on the design boards in terms of actually designing it, and concepting, and all that stuff can be done without the stores being open, because we can, again, pull from websites, pull from resources and images like that. So there are certain things that were put on hold, and then there's other things that are continuing to move along, and we're thanking God that we have that, you know, for our minds, and just, just on a normal day-to-day basis to try to keep some sort of normalcy in our life. But that is, that's kind of, it's been tough. Everyone has a bit of a different story in the design world, but that's personally what's going on with us.
Well, so I'm super glad to hear this, because I feel like your situation is good. Like, you're doing your projects, you're doing what you can, you're like moving things forward as much as you can, you're doing creative things. I know you're posting exercise videos, because I've seen that.
I mean, I probably should try to keep my shirt on, but why? You know, like, we got a lot of time to work out. You know, I'm not someone sitting at home eating a bunch of spicy Cheetos and cupcakes. You know, I'm actually eating really clean and doing workouts. So I might as well post about it, because I do, as much as I'm sure some people want to laugh or say I'm completely vain and have an ego the size of fucking, you know, Mars. I don't. And I'm actually just doing it, one, for myself, but then two, to help anyone else who's just a little bit feeling lazy. And they're like, oh, damn, I saw that he did a workout. I'm going to follow the routine. It takes 30 minutes, you know,
Yeah.
and it gives us something to do. And honestly, it selfishly gives me something to do. So, I don't know. Who knows if it's the best business decision to be like half naked on my Instagram, but time will tell.
I don't know, Ryan. I've seen the comments. Keep your shirt off and give the people what they want.
Right. I mean, I don't know. Again, I'm having fun. That's all. Life is short, as we've all been very well aware of now in the last few
Yeah.
weeks. So might as well enjoy the time that we've got.
Well, and the thing is too, I mean, I think working out for you and for many people, like it's a way to keep your mental sanity. It's a way to keep yourself sharp. So
100%. Yeah.
It's refreshing to see it out there too, and like see you putting your shirtless self out there. Because like I don't know. I think a lot of us are like kind of in the, okay, is this my couch potato life for the next I don't know how long thing? Like we don't know. And it's its own coping mechanism right
and
there.
I think it's okay to have those couch potato moments, you know, like today, like I said, I lied in my bed with pajamas on until 3 p.m., you know, like I was doing what I needed to get done, but I think that's okay to have those ups and downs. And as long as we like ride the wave, then I lived in Malibu for a very long time. I just moved to Venice, California. Like I'm used to hearing the waves crash every single night. And a lot of times that could almost make my anxiety go up a bit because it's so intense, but I just kind of had to like ride it out, you know? And I felt like I learned a lot by living on the beach the last couple of years and understanding that there's so much bigger things going on in the world than just our little heads. So the more we can get out of that and get out of our mental state, the better it can be, which is usually for creatives to create, right? So, and to do something. So I know it's difficult, but I think I know we can all get through this. And I know that the more and more we can inspire one another and just kind of try to have fun. I just keep trying to have fun. Like every day I'm like, oh, fuck it. Let's just have another beer. Oh, screw it. Let's like make a little design show. I mean, it's fun, you know, like we have time to do it and time to like switch it up. So why not go for it?
Yeah. Well, and I'm honestly very happy to hear you say that because like everything is heavy right now. And I mean, yes, it like needs to be. What's going on is incredibly serious. And I feel like I can't unplug from the news. None of us really can or should even.
Yeah.
But you got to balance that against something for your own mental state so that you can keep like doing what you need to do, which is staying home, which we all know, stay home.
Yeah.
What are you feeling grateful for right now, if anything, to come out of this?
Again, I'm feeling grateful that I'm allowing myself to take the ebbs and flows as they come. Like, I think I'm kind of a controlling person in my own mental state. So like, I like things to be going in a certain way. And this is it's such a lesson in life that like, we have no control. And so I'm really, like I said, leaning into that, allowing myself to kind of like be okay with the ups and the downs and how that's actually really healthy, you know, and not to be this picture of perfection constantly and allow things to be kind of crappy sometimes if you are feeling crappy, you know? So that's how I'm, you know, that's how I'm kind of trying to take it every single day. But I did do something the other day which helped. I did turn the alerts off on my phone because it was one after another after another. And I chose to do that.
Wait, like
so that
news
way
alerts? News alerts?
My news alerts, because I now
good.
have a moment in the day where I consciously make a moment like, okay, at this time of the day, I'm going to read everything that happened, like the day before, you know? And it's like one fall swoop of like 20 minutes of downloading myself. And then I'm done, you know, because I can't do much more after that. And so the constant pinging was getting very distracting to my mental state, to my design work. So I turned off the alerts. And but again, it's not to turn it off to ignore it, because I do check in daily. But that helped a lot. So, you know, take that for what it is, I guess.
Yeah, I'm with you on that too. I think you kind of have to segment your day. I think that's really great advice. Like absorb the news, make time for it, but then make time for yourself or for your work or whatever else you can do in that at the same time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, and Ryan, are you a homebody yourself, or are you usually like out and about? How do you kind of fall on that line? Is this easy to be home?
So I'm a super social person. I also kind of conditioned myself by living in Malibu the last few years to be more introverted. And that was very hard for me at the beginning because I used to be such an extrovert and I lived in LA and Hollywood and I was constantly doing things. So I had to learn that it's okay to be by myself. And I don't know, God willing or whatever, I was taught those lessons the last 2 years. So this time of solitude is not really too different to me because I was used to doing work, I was used to doing things, but I was alone a lot. So I guess I'm an extrovert at heart, but I'm introverted, you know, by just the nature of where I've been living the last few years. And now that I'm in Venice, it's great because I take long walks, you know, by myself, you know, daily just to kind of breathe some fresh air. But I still see people, you know, and it's been a nice thing because I think being in Malibu right now by myself constantly during this time would have been a lot to kind of handle. And I like to see people, you know, it gives you, as much as we can't see anyone right now, it's nice to just even know that there's someone across the street, you know, because I don't have like a family, you know, and a partner or any of that stuff right now. So it's nice to kind of feel like there's others out there that are going through the same situation.
Totally. Yeah, I was going to ask that next. If you were quarantining totally solo, like, do you have a pet or anything with you right now too?
I don't have a pet. I have 2 dogs from my previous, I was married. And so I see them. It's been more difficult to see them during this time because we just want to be super conscious of like not coming into each other's worlds. So yeah, it's been a bit of a solo mission. But again, one that's I've kind of prepared for the last 2.5 years by living in Malibu. So
well, all the better that you're like doing the series and like making dates to talk to people. And,
exactly.
You know,
Lots of FaceTime. Yeah, lots of FaceTimes, lots of Zooms. I haven't done that party app yet. House party or whatever. I'm sure I'll try it. Yeah. You know,
if anyone out there has tried it and wants to recommend it, leave us a comment right now. I want to see. I want to know.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, seems like a cool idea to at least, you know, this is all about creative ways of getting people together. That's the whole idea of even like having this chat, which I love.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, so I know you're working on a bunch of things because I got a little peek of one of your upcoming projects. Which, you know, I don't even want to spill the beans on yet, but I'm curious if you can tell us anything just in, you know, how you see that going forward, the special projects you've been working on and the designs you've been working on, and kind of like just where you see yourself after all this is over.
I mean, I think, you know, it's not a secret, you know, that I've been developing because I have posted about it, I think once, just about a launch of a line of really incredibly beautiful metal and concrete bathtubs and sinks that I'm so excited to show everyone. And we're, you know,
they're sick. I'll just
I did send you some sneak peek pictures. So
thank you for the sneak peek. Yeah,
I'm glad you like them. And you know, that again is keeping me busy, like daily. Like I've been working with our copywriters out of New York. I've been on calls all the time with my business partners. I have 2 partners in the business who are incredible, and you know, we're just hammering away to do the launch when we're able to turn the world back on, you know, basically. And it's a blessing because it gives us more time to keep just fine-tuning the website, again, any of the verbiage, all that kind of stuff. But it's very exciting. I mean, I'm super, I love interior design. I love designing for my clients and making kind of dreams become a reality in homes. But this has been a dream of mine for the last few years to bring a product to the line that's innovative, completely different. It's 100%, you know, a white space in the market within our tubs and our sinks, and there's nothing like it out there. So we're super excited about that. So I see this next evolution, of course, being difficult, and we're going to have to weather the storm together. But I do think that there's going to be a ton of opportunity and a ton of resilient people wanting to push forward and forge forward in this new way. And we're all learning to work differently. We're learning to work a little bit more efficiently by being home. So I think there's a lot of things that are going to kind of have us take on into the new layers of after, you know, quarantine life, for sure.
Yeah. I know. All the time I wish I could just fast forward to see what it's going to be like, because I think so many things are going to change so much. No idea what those might be. But are you thinking, hopefully, like fingers crossed, summer that you might launch these products?
Yeah, I think again, it's all dependent upon what our leaders and officials tell us is safe to do. And we want to make sure that we're abiding by all of those things. But I would say ideally, yeah, we'd love to be launching sometime in summer, you know. Ideally, we'd love to be out of quarantine, you know, in May, you know, so hopefully that happens. And if that happens, then, you know, we'll probably just wait a few months. And then, you know, these are also products that are actually, they're helping people with their like mental health, with relaxing, you know, coming back into themselves on a daily basis. I mean, taking a bath is, for me, one of the most private and intimate, but yet spiritual experiences you can have on a daily basis. Like I take baths constantly, and I meditate in them, and I really just allow myself to unplug from the world that we're in. So I think by launching a bath and sink company, even recently after this, it's going to be, I hope it's not looked at as anything but like optimistic and positive, you know, and helpful.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Fingers crossed, summer at some point we'll be launching Vast. Our company's name is Vast Studio. So yeah, we're super excited.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, so, I mean, hopefully you're taking baths at home now because it's part of your own mental health and sanity journey right now. I've been doing baths too. They're amazing. So I'm totally
they're great, you know.
They're great.
And I think there was like a spike.
Now I do.
I was reading like I think it was a Dwell magazine article about it was something about like 50% of like homeowners were actually ripping out their big showers that they put in like maybe 7 years ago to then now include a bathtub in their house. Because, you know, 10 years ago, people were ripping out, doing these monstrosity of showers and tube heads and all this kind of stuff. And now people are like, I don't really need all that space. And I actually want a space to come home to and relax and have the great shower, but also have the amazing, beautiful bath. And our tubs are honestly pieces of art. You know, they're really kind of one-of-a-kind statement pieces that really...
Oh, they are. Yeah.
I'm so glad you say that. But, you know, they are, you know, and I mean, I want them to be looked at like a thing that not only is beautiful when you're in them, but beautiful to look at when you're out of them. So, yeah, I think, like I said, it's on the rise that people are really wanting baths in their bathrooms these days, and more of them, not just in the master, but in other areas. So outdoor, you know, kind of all that kind of stuff. So we are... like I can't stop smiling about how excited I am about what's to come down the road.